this one?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Okay. So actually, anything you want to know about us, you can access our website. So a kind of program that we offer, right? The lecturers, okay, some of our news and the agenda, and also our activities, you can find there in foe.uiii.ac.id, right? So it's very straightforward to that. Okay. So, but let me introduce the first one is that this is the organizational structure that we have in Faculty of Education. We have Prof. Nina as a Dean of Faculty of Education. With me is Dr. Tati as Head of MA Program, and myself as Head of PhD Program. Along with us, we also have four staff that helping us in many kind of academic and financial and activities. Mbak Nadia, Mbak Afra, Mbak Nurul, and Mas Sufyan. And we have also lecturers, okay, Bu Cherina, okay, Pak Lukman, Prof. Emi, Pak Didin, Bu Destina, Dr. Abdullah Sahin, and Dr. Ami Al-Fumami, right? So all of them are very dedicated lecturers, and they have a very different background that come from a different expertise in education, right? So if you want to know the detail, you can see each of the lecturers in the our website, right? Okay, so if you go to our website, okay, so you can see here, right? So foe.uiii and .ac.id. So you can have all the information you needed about us. Okay, so let me what we call is try to inform you about this one. Oh, sorry. All right. Okay. So if you go to Triple IU, Faculty of Education, so you can have this kind of interface, and then you can read by yourselves about who are we, right? And then detail about our study program, and as well as lecturers. So you can click this one, and then you will see every detail. For example, I click Prof. Nina here, and then you can see short paragraph about Prof. Nina and education background, work experience, as well as publication, something like that, right? And you can see about our activity from time to time. So we are presenting here the activity that already done, or maybe and all as well as that we'll have next one. For example, lunch talk number 28 will be held in 23rd of April. So that's kind of activity you can see. Most of this activity here are recorded, and then you can see by yourself in the Triple IU YouTube channel, right? You can see our publication. So we have our own journal, for example, okay, as well as we also saw here our lectures publication. So you can check, right, and then read by yourself about what is the latest publication that we have here, as well as from student as well, right? So this is a kind of publication uh, produced by our student, and then also news, and then we have the activities, as well as, of course, if you want to know about more detail about our activities from time to time, you can check in our newsletter, right? Right. So I think you can get more about that. Okay. So next one. So I will let Butati to explain about MA program. Right. So the screen is yours, Butati.
Thank you, Dr. Bambang. Hi, I haven't introduced myself properly. My name is Tati Duria. I'm a head of MA in education. So for the next couple of slides, I'm gonna share with you some brief information about us. Again, I'm gonna remind you that the one place that you can get all the latest information and more details one is to go to our website. Dr. Bambang has showed you how. And then there also one thing that he didn't have the time to show it, that is information about the student association. That's a very active one, and they have their important activity happens every July. That is graduate forum. So you need to check that out, because once you are part of us, you'll be one component of this responsible in running the program. So let me start with the MA in education. Dr. Bambang will help me turning the slides. So here are some of the images that we collected over the years. Maybe many of you are quite, informed about the fact that we are now having third batches of MA. So we have produced one cohort, one group of students for the MA program. So on image on your screen, on the left-hand side, that will be the cohort they have graduated back in August 2023. So currently, the current batch, the second batch of the second batch of students, they are collecting their data, getting their instruments ready. So everyone is busy. Which the top one, the bottom one, the bottom picture, actually they are students at the third batches. The third batch, they are currently busy taking courses. Some of them are required one, meaning the foundational one, and some of them are elective ones. So we are quite, dynamic in terms of sometimes in one cohort, they will be in different classrooms because they have their different concentration. So it gives you some ideas. In terms of the composition, we have some nationality. We have, of course, the majority of the students from Indonesia, but we have number students from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Gambia, the Philippines, Tanzania, and Nigeria. But there is also missing here that is from Thailand. Yeah, we have students from Thailand. So it's quite, we every year our compositions seems to be expanding. Initially we have a large number of students from Pakistan, Afghanistan, and some from Gambia and Bangladesh. But today we have several students from the Philippines, from Tanzania, from Nigeria, from Thailand. So I think we are attracting more and more talent. So we are hoping some of you will be making up the new composition of our MA students. Next, Pak. Yeah. This one you can read it yourself at our website. So we design these programs to need a graduate from the master level education. They have a mastery and competence in the field of education. So they have a comparative insight into philosophy and the practice of Western, Islamic, and Indonesian education. So that's what we are aiming for when we are designing the program. So the graduate of Master of Arts in Education are expected to become researcher on education. They have solid scientific basis theoretically, methodologically, and practically in the field of education. So you can see how we are translating this into courses and also activities that's required by the student before they're completing their study. The Master of Arts in Education program is academically unique in that student will be equipped with a comprehensive education and scientific foundation that include philosophical foundation, theoretical foundation, sociological foundation, religious and methodological foundation. Next, please. Okay. So this one is our learning outcomes. We have like five learning outcome, a set of learning outcome for the MA. it's been 2 years, and then we are planning to revise this because it is our intention that to always update our learning outcome. But this one, the current one, this is the translation of our vision, and also why we are designing the program. The first one, we are trying to to demonstrate. We would like the student to be able to demonstrate their solid knowledge about Islamic education philosophy and comparative philosophy education, including the knowledge and expertise in one of the concentration. As you know, probably our program, MA program, we have 4 concentration. The first one is curriculum teaching and learning. We have educational assessment and evaluation. The third one, we have educational policy, management and leadership. And the last one, we have education and society. This kind of, indicating that we are concerning something that is very, near and dear to our heart, that is classroom, and also to the sociological aspect, and then that's in the education society. So we have the vision in which include to see education, to study in education more holistically. The second one, we are conducting research. We are trying to educate our students so they be able to conduct research project using a range of research methods, qualitative and quantitative, and related approaches, so that they can produce research and contribute to the body of an advancement and knowledge in the field of education. The third one is they'll be able to show a proficient ability to communicate research through various formats such as oral, written, and new media, especially social media platform, because this is very important for us to be able to nurture them to do so, to international audiences in academic forum, on public audiences. And the fourth one, we are trying to educate our students so they'll be able to evaluate an educational program or policy at all levels of education, and they'll be able to show professional attitude appropriate for future career plan. So this is like an integrity, being on time, they have, always not doing any plagiarism and things like that. So there's a very important outcomes that we are trying to achieve by them when they're completing their program. Next, Pak Bambang.
S1.
Huh?
Dari S1.
In order for you to earn your MA from IIIU, you need to be able completing 21 credit of compulsory courses of study program, which will be detailed in the next slide. And then you need to complete 6 credit compulsory concentrated courses or specialization. And you also need to have 6 credit elective courses, meaning that two courses that you are free to select whatever that is interests you. And there are also 2 credit of independent study. We also consider you can do that by way of doing an independent study. We have a number of partnership, including Siamio Sesep up in Bandung, and also we have partnership with school at Madania School. So we are increasing, we are widening our partnerships so they give our student opportunity to do an independent study. So far we have done, this year will be our second time to do the independent study, because in the beginning we only have one option. We had only independent study for them to prepare their research, but now we have widening the opportunity for students to complete the independent study. You also need to complete 3 credit proposal, and of course you need to submit a thesis and pass the exam for your credit for your thesis that count as 6 credit. And here are the curriculum for the MA program. Maybe I mentioned earlier that you need to complete 21 credit that is foundational. That will be this one, including this one. So you have the comparative philosophy education taught by Dr. Sahin and Dr. Sahin today, but probably in the future we have Professor Zudi. And we have psychology in education currently taught by Professor Bambang Suryadi, who is the educational attaché in Egypt. We have also education society. The convener is Professor Nina. We also education as a methodology, taught by me and Dr. Destina. We have statistical analysis, Islamic education, Wasatiyah Islam in Globalized World. This is a mandatory course that is at the university level, because this is one of the distinction or the uniqueness of our university is this one, the Wasatiyah. And as you can see, the list of core concentration that you can have. These are some of the courses available for the course concentration under, for instance, under the curriculum teaching and learning. You have human development, learning design technology, and some others. We currently have one more that I'm teaching. It's called literacy development and resources. They're also considered as courses for concentration. And some other courses that also you need to be able to select depending on your interests or your concentration. So we have 4, and each is concentration. We have a number of courses to offer. Thank you. And as for the elective course, again, you are basically, this gives you an opportunity to widen or to expand your understanding or knowledge in the field of education. Probably you pick one concentration and you have to take a number of courses related to your concentration, but at the same time you have some interest, in pursuing some other thing, that getting to know and reading and things like that. So this opportunity, this gives a room for each student, so they can delve further in a very structured course, and it's counted as credits. I mean, counted toward the degree. So you have like 2 opportunities to do that when you're completing your master's. When you're completing master's degree. And the last one, of course, you are doing research, independent study, as I mentioned before, is considered as research, and you have proposal, and finally you have a thesis proposal. You have thesis, including the writing and the defense. I'm going to show you some of the example of the mobility, students' mobility. We are encouraging our students to always, learning and also showing their work to the world. And then these are some of the example of the MA student. The first one on the left, on your screen, we have Eka. He was presenting his paper that he developed in one of the course, Education Society, and then he presented at a forum organized by Ministry of Education, and he won one of the best presenter. I mean, he won best presenter, so we were proud of him. The second one on the second left, on the right hand side, we have Mariam Ulpa, is the first cohort of MM student. She presented the paper and received, the best presenter, the best paper, and in total she received like 700 Australian dollars. That's like quite unusual to get some money. Typically, you only have certificate. And the last one, it's a PhD student actually, Nadi. He presented a paper at a conference in the Spain. So all of the students receiving some, like Mariam Ulfa and Nadi receiving some funding from the university. Of course, you need to provide some, but the university provide a scheme for students to present their paper. So I think that's all for the MA. Do I have? Yeah. Oh, this one, the community service that we have. Our student association is very active, and they've been doing community service, during the break or during the Ramadan. So we have a number of example, and like, and we are also studying excursion. You have done it once. Most recently in 2023, we went to Bandung and had some water crafting. It was so much fun. And we also have a tradition that every batches, in each batch, will select the three best student. And the first cohort, these three gentlemen, two gentlemen and one female, actually, Supriyono, Dian, and Asep. They are lucky enough to be sent to Deakin University for about 10 days, yeah, receiving this is like a reward for their hard work, because their GPA overall, getting the highest one. So that would be an incentive for students to do their best, best ability in applying themselves, and then show the result. Okay, that will be all for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Butati. So it's my turn now to explain about PhD in education. So if you want to know, there is two kind of PhD study in many university in the world. So the first one is fully research, and the second one is coursework and research. So in Triple IU, we're following a mix between coursework and research, right? So we have two batches at the moment. So the first one on the left is around 10 students. One of them is Mr. Hasnan Yasin here, right? So on one on the right is the second batch. Okay, so we have around 15 students as well in the second batch. So the nationalities is a mix from Indonesia, of course, the majority, as well as from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Turkey, and Mexico. Right. So this is the face of our PhD student. Similar like what we have in MA program, but it's a bit deeper and a bit broad in the context of study is for PhD program. We also offer for concentration, similar like MA program. So those who are interested in, for example, curriculum teaching and learning. So because of your background is English teaching or Arabic teaching, so you can choose this one, right? But if you want to do study more about the, for example, language assessment, so you can choose the concentration, educational assessment and evaluation, something like that, right? And then this is the structures of the curriculum. So it's a bit different from MA program. So for PhD, the first one is foundation. So philosophy of education and Islamic education. So all these PhD students have to take as well as Wasatiyah Islam, right? And then there are component of research methodology. There are two courses that you take. So, but most of students took all of them, which is graduate seminar in education research, and then took both of qualitative data analysis as well as quantitative analysis and advanced statistics. And as a PhD student, you can choose whatever PhD courses available in our university. So it is open for you to take courses from Faculty of Economic and Business, as well as from Faculty of Social Science and Faculty of Islamic Studies. Right. So, and then there are two concentration courses based on your interest. Okay. So, the choice is based on you. You want to do which part of the concentration. And all of this coursework have to be completed in the fourth semester. But most likely, all the students uh, complete all the coursework in this first year, right? So in the 2 semester, most of the students nearly complete all the coursework, and they are starting to prepare for the research mode when they have to do the independent study and student colloquium, right? So and then after the fourth semester, beginning in the fifth semester, so they do the fully in research mode and then completing the dissertation. The step is preparing the proposal, okay, chapter 1 to 3 of your dissertation. And if pass, they're completing with the data collection and then completing the dissertation. right? So, what's something different that we offer? We offer the title for generic degree, which is PhD in education. The way we handle that is regardless of your what we call as education background in education. For example, your background is science education. So if you want to study about, for example, politics of science education, so you can choose in the context of education system, right? So if you want to know about the impact of science education in the society, so you can choose your concentration in education and society. If you are interested more in terms of assessment, in terms of higher order thinking skill, so the concentration could be about at the classroom level, which is about curriculum and pedagogy and learning assessment. So there is some kind of flexibility that you can use in terms of study here in Faculty of Education Triple IU. All right. So, Bu Tati, want to continue here or?
Go ahead, Pak.
Okay. All right. So this is kind of activities that we have regularly in every semester. So we have lunch talk. So one talk is a seminar of experts. So this is that happening in last February. So we invite Dr. Amalia Fitria from Ministry of Education. So we have another what we call regular writing competition. So we give researcher, academician, right? Students, okay, lecturers to submit their piece of work, okay, most likely are uh, what we call is uh, empirical research paper, right, to submit to do that, and then we have annual conference, right? So this is one of the poster that we can share. For example, we have what we call uh, writing competition on the left. Okay, so already announced about the winner on the yesterday, right? The next activity we will have is the next month on 30th and 31st of May, the annual conference. Okay, and usually it come from Indonesia as well as overseas. And we have a scholars resident, so we invite a PhD degree holder to apply to do a postdoctoral for 3 months in Triple IU. Okay, at the moment we already have two academician for batch 4, which is Dr. Naning and Dr. Gingin from UPI. Dr. Naning from Solo, it's also just graduated from Auckland University. And of course, we have a journal that publish twice a year, right? There's an example of our lectures publication. The top one is come from Bunina paper. At the bottom is come from Butati, and on the right hand is a book chapter that written by myself. Okay, and we also have concerns about improving student academic skills, okay, in terms of study skills. So we provide some kind of facilities for students in improving of academic writing, data analysis, and doing systematic literature review, right? And I think all that information you can get it more in Faculty of Education website. Okay, so now I invite Mr. Hasnan Yassin to share about experience and sharing stories doing as a PhD student in Triple IU. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Bambang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. It's very nice to see you all here. My name is Hasnan Yassin, and I'm one of the PhD students, the first cohort. I started in 2022, and it's been almost 2 years now. I'm a student at Triple IU. What I'm going to present today is my experience throughout these years joining Triple IU as a student. I prepare a little bit of slides that I can use as a framework of my presentation. So it's gonna take a little bit of time, like 5 to 7 minutes. So maybe for further questions, or if there's anything that's not clear, you can always reach me after these sessions. So I'm going to tell you a little bit my experience about becoming a full-time student, and some research interest and funding available at Triple IU, and also, of course, living expenses, because Triple IU expected the students to live around Depok to be able to attend Triple IU, of course, more easily. And I'm going to also share about some challenges as a PhD students. And I think this can also be applied for MA, because it's not that that far of a difference between both degree. So becoming a full-time student, meaning you have to committed to study, to be involved in academic activities at campus. So if there's any questions maybe from anybody that asks, so do we have to to be present at campus 24/7? Well, it's not like that exactly, but you have to, of course, commit sometimes to complete all the required courses or the required activities you have to do at campus. So this is the first time I think you have to think about before applying or joining Triple I, especially not especially, but in the Faculty of Educations, we are very strict in terms of this. I mean, some lectures will provide information on how you can take your responsibilities to do your study, to commit in that. So that's the first time you have to think about before applying to Triple IU. And then other than that, of course, you have to think about the credits in which you have to take. And I believe it's been explained by Dr. Bambang and Dr. Kati for both PhD and MA. So think about how many credits you have to take per semester, because those credits have to be taken carefully care in order for you to pass them. So like how many hours you need to, because it's not just about learning in the class, like where you have to meet the lectures and then listen to the lectures and do some assignment. You have to think about how many times or how many hours you have available for reading, or how many hours you have available for researching and doing some literature review for the courses that you decided to take. And of course, all of these are related to be graduates on time. So Triple IU expect their students to graduate in 2 years for MA, and in 4 years at least for PhD students. But of course, all of these, I would say, challenges are also supported by the system at Triple IU. For example, if you need some mentorship and support from the faculty members or from the Triple IU itself in general, there are, of course, it's available. So you can come to your supervisors for mentorship, or if there's anything that you would like to ask, or that is not clear, or if you have any problem. Either it's a, and I believe we also do have some kind of psychological cleaning. So if you have some psychological problem related to your academic, let's say for example, you have because you have a lot of burden studying because you have let's say a lot of tasks you have to finish, and that makes you uh, going crazy or something. So you can always talk about that with that department, or you can always also talk about that with your supervisors. Maybe they can help you, support you, or even to the lectures in which you or those who let's say give you the assignment, if there's anything they can do to help you. And other than that, financial aid is also available, so you don't have to worry. Maybe some of you already have families, or some of you maybe are working now, and then maybe you're worried about how about my job, how about money if I'm committed to a full-time study at triple IU. So there is a scholarship that is available for students, either for national or international students from Indonesia or other countries. So I, I believe there's a scheme up until now, but I'm not sure. You can always make it clear later. This scholarship is available up until this batch, I believe. So you can apply with this scheme in which you can get the full scholarship. So you'll get the uh, money for the study to be paid to the university, and you will also get the living allowance you can use to, of course, live in Nepal. And about the research interest and funding, uh, the research interest will revolve around these four topics, of course, these four topic of educations, but you can always do there can always be an intersection between your background and then these topic we have. Like for example, if you decided, in my case, because my background is English teacher for for my undergraduate and for my master's, both are in the field of English education. So I decided to took these concentration, educational assessment and evaluation. So there's cross section between these two fields, educational assessment and evaluations and English education. So that's why I decided to write proposals, because for a PhD it's required for you to write down proposals in your application. That's one of the required documents you have to put in your applications. So yeah, I decided to write a proposals about language assessment, so it can fall within this concentrations. And of course, throughout the year you are studying at Triple IU, there are some fundings available, whether it's directly from the university or from the faculty, or you can also apply for other sources of fundings. And that can be also supported by, let's say, for example, letter of recommendations from your the head of the department, or even from your dean, from the dean, Professor Nina. So yeah, that's about the research. And about living expenses in Depok. Depok is quite a big city, but I think because I've been living around Jabodetabek for quite some time, so I'm quite familiar with, especially for maybe international students who haven't been in Indonesia. Living expenses in Depok, uh, especially when you get the full scholarship from Triple IU, I think that would be more than enough for you to cover the living expenses. And the choose for living expenses in Depok can be in many options. For example, for housing, you can live at the dormitory, which is very affordable, in my opinion. Uh, because if you compare to other rent room or other rent accommodations outside with the same facility, you'll get I think a higher price. So there's no obligation for you to leave it the dormitory, but it's provided for you to have an ease to you know as your accommodations living as a student at in Depok. And for the utilities, like for example, internet or other stops, sometimes some rent housing has one package like you can pay for example like 1 million rupiah or 1.5 million rupiah. That's for the rest of the utilities including housing. But in some occasions, some cases, it's sometimes separated. So especially if you rent it uh, not at the dormitory. If you live outside dormitory, so that if you decided to rent a room outside the campus environment or outside campus neighborhood. And for the food and groceries, so if you live at the dorm, we usually have a weekly shopping. So the bus or the shuttle bus will be available for you. It's usually on Sunday, and you can go to convenience store with other students as well weekly. So because at the dorm we also have these pantries, so it's available if you want to cook by yourself. Let's say if you can, like if you're not used to eat Indonesian food, for example, for those who are from outside Indonesia, you can cook it by yourself at the pantry, at the uh, kitchen that we can use together at the dorm if you decided to live at the dorm. And there are also some convenience stores available nearby, so you can always buy food and groceries at those convenience stores. And for the transportations, the Triple IU usually provide us with bike. So if there's any students who doesn't have any motorcycles or doesn't have cars to go and forward from the dormitory to the campus, sometimes we can use this options bikes because personally myself I use bikes to go and forth from the dorm to the campus. But if you have motors, especially, but motorcycles is not only for Indonesian because I believe some of students living at the dorm also rent or either buy motorcycles in Indonesia. But if you if you don't go out a lot, I think bike is just enough for you because you also have shuttle, the bus shuttle that can lift you from the dorm to the campus. And for the healthcare, we our campus provide health insurance, especially if you get the full scholarship from TPIU. We do have a health. It's including health insurance, so you don't have to worry about let's say for example. But I hope we don't get sick. If you get sick, you can always use this insurance to deal with that. And the last one is some challenges. I think this is not only for PhD students, but these I'm just gonna say about these according to my experience. First one is the time management. I believe this is this is some issue for even for me now. Now that I know that this is a problem or a challenges, I still face it in some occasions. But yeah, sometimes you have to think about the time in which you have to deal with your assignments or a time you have to do something else if you have something else to do uh, because sometimes that can if you don't manage your time wisely that sometimes can be a burden So yeah, that leads to the workloads, of course, that you have to deal with, and then that can maybe cause you stressful. And as a PhD student, especially if you're single, uh, so because I think at the level of a PhD students, that's you have like a very few friends still there. So sometimes you face this isolations. You feel alone. You feel lonely. Uh, but of course, you can always stay connected with other academic communities. You can always talk to your supervisors. You can always talk to your classmates, or if you have any other friends that you're still in contact with, you can always uh, tell them about anything that happened to your life. And then if you still have financial matters, because I believe uh, this is different for each individual. But if if you do still have financial problems or financial matters, uh, there are other options you can do. Let's say, for example, after receiving the living allowance, if you get the full scholarship from JPI, but you still, let's say, lack of money, you can always take for fundings. For example, there is a research fundings yearly from JPIU. First, you have to work with one of the lecturers or faculty members, either in Faculty of Education or other faculties, if you know any faculty members from those faculties. You can always apply for that, and then there will be usually funding for that. Or you can always, other than that, apply for grants, like for a conference. So there will be funding from the university for conferences, either in Indonesia or outside Indonesia. And you can also offer yourself for assistantship for your lectures. But uh, I would recommend that you expect money as something you can take in return, but also sometimes it comes with it. Okay, so this they can be an options, and some internship that you can do. Of course, the internship I would suggest you to look for is related to your field. So that can be supported by your, let's say, the head of your department or your lecturers. And sometimes we're, we forget that we have advisors, academic advisors. So this sometimes can be, if you forget, like you have advisors, you haven't, let's say, talk to them for sometimes you have to keep a good relationship with them, because your advisor will be, let's say, your consult yeah, the one you can consult with about any problem. So keep a good relationship with your advisors. And sometimes you have this called imposter syndrome, in which you think that you're not good enough, because these your friends are progressing well. But I think that's just normal, because I sometimes feel it as well. But what you have to do is sometimes to celebrate your achievement, to celebrate what you have done, and try to do the best for you. Um, so that can sometimes heal you from this kind of problem. And I think that would be all the things that I can say, Dr. Bambang and Dr. Tati. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Bang. So I think here we have a lot of questions pop up here. So I will choose first from Fajar. Are there any funding for a student who join international conference, Bambang or Mas Hasnan?
Mas Hasnan, can you just off the screen for the presentation, please? Thank you. All right. So from time to time, Triple IU will support for the student who will do presentation in the country or overseas. Okay. So at the first 2 years, most likely that you will have a full support. Okay. And moving to the this third year, so we are not giving Triple IU will not giving the full money needed for the joining the conference, right? So in this case, so most likely a half or maybe a third of the money that need to spend will be supported by Triple IU, and the rest the student itself have to fulfill for the portion, right? Okay.
Okay. The next from Lukiana, if there any limitation in composing the statement of purpose, but or any specific point that must be included in the statement of purpose.
Okay, so make it so interesting and based on your own research, right? So we like to have surprise from you, right? So if everything is so normal, so normative, so it is not an interesting kind of statement, right? And please avoid using AI or chat GPT because we will check one by one those who are using ChatGPT, so we will make sure that they are not qualified for continuing the selection process, right? So you have to do your own research, right, in terms of preparing the topic as well as about your own interest, why you want to join Triple IU in MA or PhD program, right? So that's my answer. Maybe Butati have another one.
Probably in the case of MA, sometimes we are slightly different with the PhD one because for PhD you have like a proposal, research proposal. For MA, the only thing we can see about yourself is through your statement of purpose. So make sure you have that information about your biographical information about who you are, and then why do you think you are best candidate to be included in our program. So make sure you have a good knowledge about our program, our concentration. Why do you think you will be the person that the Triple I will be the best place for you to pursue your MA, for example? So make sure you have all the information, familiar with the data there, because it is very obvious if you're not doing a research, everything is very general. You just copy and paste it, or you have a number of copies sent to a number of institutions. So we can tell if you have some unique voices, as Dr. Bambang mentioned, we love it, and then we can see whether or not there are some errors. Sometimes there are information you are getting inspired by the chat GPT. You forgot to there are information that not supposed to be there. So yeah, be careful. This is your life for 2 years. This is where your chance. So make sure you take the time to really investing in proposing or developing your statement of purpose.
Yeah, that's the point. Okay, following the PhD candidate, Pak Bambang, is there any session for the PhD candidate in writing the proposal?
Second,
From Amalul, any
all
suggestion
right.
for the PhD candidate in writing proposal?
Okay, so it should be, PhD requirement in order you to graduate. So the topic should be contribute something to the knowledge, right? So it could be something unique. It could be something that worthwhile, right? So it is not a kind of repetition, not kind of duplication. If you are doing something similar, so what's the point doing PhD in that case, right? So you have to do doing comprehensive literature review and find the research gap and then propose that as your study interest, right? So that's make more sense that you are ready to do the PhD. If you are still wondering what kind of topic, so I think you have to do your homework first, right?
Yeah, thank you, Pak Bambang. So another question from Latif, for PhD student, is there any obligation publishing in reputable journals? Um,
All right.
yeah.
Okay. So, unlike other universities in Indonesia, in Triple IU, we are not required for student to publish in order to fulfill the graduation requirement. Right? We are not asking them to publish in any journal. Right? So, but even we don't state that as a requirement, most of our students are very active in terms of preparing the paper and getting it published in any other journals, okay, either in Sinta or any other journals, right? So you have to fulfill all the requirement in terms of graduate as PhD, but not as published in reputable journal, okay? One case is for independent study. So you have to complete literature review for your dissertation, and then you have to attend a conference or colloquium to show about your work. And then the requirement for the journal is not about published or accepted, is as long as you can show about your work and then you are submit it, so it is consider that you complete the work, right? So it's much more what you call compared to other universities, not like the thing that you have to complete similarly, right?
Yeah, thank you, Pak. From Jamil, after submitting application, how long do we get response for application waiver? I think this question you must be contacted our admission committee, Jaimu, yeah. Okay, next. Is there, uh, we have from Dawood, Pak. He is from the Afghanistan. I would like to ask about the number of opportunity for Afghan applicant. You have
All right, so there is no quota for every country, okay? As long as you are qualified and then you pass the selection process, then you will get the scholarship for that one, right? So up to now, we are, for example, last year we received around 73 applicants for PhD, and then going to 28 who go to the interview, and only 15 of them are pass all the selection process. Okay, so from that 15, I think around five of them are for overseas student, one from Gambia, one from Turkey, one from Bangladesh, one from Afghanistan, and one from Mexico. Right? So we don't stipulate that as the quota. Right? So as long as you have very good research proposal and then you pass the selection process, so there will be no problem for you.
thank you. So here from Nani, is it possible know when the admission committee will send the email to the referees? I think Nani, your questions is regarding to the technical issues and difficulty while completing your registrations or your document submissions. So please kindly send to our admission email regarding to your matter. Okay, any questions from others? Or you want to open your mic? Any one of you? No one? Okay. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Amalul, you want to? Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you, Ari, for giving me the opportunity for asking the questions. So actually, I'm going to ask about is in the selection process, in the interview process, let's say for the PhD programs, what is the most considered aspect for the applicants to be accepted, so that all applicants can prepare well for that. Thank you.
there's no secret actually, all right? So you prepare the what you call as the motivation letter, you prepare the proposal, and then you submit all the requirements. So we will check, and then we will ask question, all right? So and then is it the intention as real come from yourself, all right? So not by anybody preparing for it, and then you can answer handsomely about the interest or doing study, right? So it's morely most likely it's about your personality, right? The way how you communicate with us, right? So there's a panel will be interview, right? So I think 2 or 3 person will come to and ask some question based on the document that you sent to us, right?
Yeah, I think we have another one, Pak. Dawood, you want to open your mic?
Yes, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I would like to ask about the application process. You know, I've already applied for the fully funded scholarship at UII, and I believe that one of my professors he faced a kind of glitch or problem while submitting the recommendation letter form, and he had a screenshot, but I also attached that screenshot and sent it to the admission committee at UII. But I don't know whether you have received that letter of recommendation from my instructor or not. Just I want to make sure whether you received it or not.
All right, so I think for that one, so we are not part of the first selection process in terms of academic document check, right? So
Okay.
for that, you can email to academic@iiu.ac.id and then ask the clarification, is it the document already get by them or not, right? If the document still not got by them, so you have to find way, right, to send to request for your referee to send it again to them, right? It could be then uh, directly by email to academic@iiu.ac.id, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dawood. Okay, from the chat box for PhD students, there any family allowance for scholarship? Bu Tati
Okay, so
or David?
yeah. Uh, at the moment, we don't have family allowance for those who are study at PhD or master level. Right? Really sorry for that. So it's only be given for the single student, even if you are already married, have children. So we only support you as a single individual who study at Triple IU. Okay, we're really sorry for that. So that's the condition that provided by the Indonesian government.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, any other? Okay, no one? Well, I think if any one of you no questions, I will end our Q&A sessions here. And thank you so much for our attendees and our future student here. And well, before we end our session today, I just want to remind you all that our admission is still open, both for self-fundings or the fully funded scholarship ones. And do not forget that our last submission for your applications is closed by May 2024 this year's. And please don't be late to submit your application and prepare your best application to Triple IU. And I do wish you all the best and good luck in your application process. And if you have any question or maybe you face any technical issues or maybe you don't understand something regarding for your application, please do not hesitate to reach out to us by email or maybe our social media. And And also, thank you so much to Bu Tati and also Pak Bambang and Mas Sufyan and Mas Hasnan. Thank you so much for having us here. And also all the participants and attendees. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can see you here as our student at Triple IU. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.